Welcome back, you guys. Thanks for joining us. We're discussing sailing, and Bill Symes is with me. And so, Bill, let's talk a little bit about why Cascade Locks and what made that. We touched on it in the first segment briefly, but you guys really, that's sort of your home base. That's where you guys go to sail.
Right. Cascade Locks has become the focus for sailing boats in the gorge, and it's mainly down to the wind. Conditions in Cascade Locks are favorable to the kind of sailing that we do. As I mentioned before, the summer wind tends to build in velocity as it moves east through the gorge. In Cascade Locks, it'll be generally 15 to 20, maybe a little more some days, whereas it'll be 30 or 40 sometimes down in Swell City or Hood River.
Okay.
And then as you move further west, the wind's generally lighter. So Cascade Locks is just right.
Just right. And a beautiful little marina there where you can put in, right?
Right. We're located in the Marine Park at the beach on the east end of the Cascade Locks Marine Park. It's just an ideal place. We have a nice launching site. We are in a very wide spot in the river. Not much current because we're right behind the dam. And so it turns out to be just an ideal place for sailing.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Now, you even have some folks that have sailed with you or that you guys have worked together with that are Olympians, and some of those folks actually live in the gorge, I understand.
It's true, yeah. Some Olympic sailors, some America's Cup sailors. Because of the great sailing up here, it's attracted a lot of high-level sailors. They're often out of town because of the nature of their business.
Sure.
They're sailing in Europe or Australia or Asia. But yeah, it's home to a lot of professional sailors now.
So are they out there actually training, or are they just more out just kind of having some fun?
Well, both. A lot of sailors moved here to train. People doing Olympic campaigns have moved into the gorge and spent 2 years sailing every day just to prepare. We also have big boat sailors who live here, sail for fun, but spend most of their time traveling around the world sailing on big boat campaigns.
Okay. And CGRA, I mean, I'm a sailor, a windsurfer, but you and I during the break were discussing that, they're not really that different. I mean, you've got a sail and you've got, in my case, a board, you've got a boat. But you guys are actually wanting to really, part of your mission is to bring exposure to the sport and broaden it and expand it. And you want to actually make it as popular as windsurfing, I read. Is that true?
Well, I don't know that our goal is to make it as popular as windsurfing. I think our goal is to seed a sailing culture in the gorge, to have people recognize what a great venue for world-class sailing this is. It's been compared, Cascade Locks has been compared to Lake Garda in northern Italy, which is
really,
for a long time, been one of the premier sailing venues in the world. And we have very similar conditions. We have breathtaking scenery. We have all the ingredients for a world-class venue. And so our focus has been on getting the world to recognize this, and we're getting that recognition.
That's great. Well, it sounds like we're very fortunate.
We are.
Yeah.
We are.
What types of people generally are attracted to sailing, or is it completely diverse?
It's a pretty diverse sport. I mean, obviously, most sailors grew up in a place where sailing was part of the landscape. You don't get many sailors that come from Nevada or Utah, although there is sailing in those places.
Yeah?
But, yeah, and it's funny how it starts. Kids may get into it from sailing lessons, or perhaps their family sailed. Who knows?
Do you guys have any, like, teenagers that come out and sail with you guys?
Oh, yeah, we have lots of kids. Our sailing classes are focused on youngsters from age 5 to age 14. So we teach youngsters how to sail, and our events attract a lot of youth sailors. This summer we're hosting the Optimus Pram Pacific Coast Championships, which that'll be kids ages 13 and under
Oh.
sail these little Opti prams. And it's the largest one design class in the world, and there will probably be 50 or 60 kids sailing at Cascade Locks this August.
So it's the biggest in the world, and it's right here?
It's the biggest one design sailing class in the world. Yeah.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
You guys have some pretty big ambitions as well. I mean, I know you guys are working on coming up with a sailing center that you'd like to have in Cascade Locks, and how that would not only impact our community in a positive way, but also bring in, like you said, bring in people, world-class people from all over. Let's talk about that. Tell me a bit about what you guys are thinking there.
Yeah. Well, our dream is to build a world-class sailing center in the Gorge.
And what does that mean?
Well, it would be a facility that was capable of hosting large international regattas, providing training facilities for Olympic campaigners and other top-level sailors, and also providing recreational opportunities for anyone who's interested in sailing.
Okay.
There are several models around the country, in Florida, on the Great Lakes, in Southern California. They have their own fleets of boats. They have the infrastructure to host and launch large fleets of boats. They have the backup facilities, meeting rooms, food service.
And is that sort of what you guys envision?
Right.
All of those things, those amenities?
That's what we would like to bring to the Gorge.
Great. Do you guys have a place yet that you're really looking at as far as geographically around the Cascade Locks area?
We're working with the port and the city of Cascade Locks, and we're looking at a couple of different options. One would be to continue to develop the beach at the Marine Park, which is where we are now. There are a couple of other ideas, most in the Cascade Locks area, but it's kind of a faraway dream right now. We need to raise a lot of money to make it happen.
I bet, yeah.
But we're working on it.
That's great. Well, all great things have to start somewhere, so you got to start plugging away at this.
Yeah.
Well, I told you it's a 22-minute show basically with commercials, and it goes really fast, and we're out of time already. So I wish we had more time to discuss this. We just barely even scratched the surface. But you guys have a website, and people can go there and get more information, and it sounds like you want to get more people involved. So
that's right, CGRA.org.
Perfect.
Find out everything you need to know.
All right, well, I'm going to check it out again. Bill, thank you so much for coming on and driving all the way out from Portland. We appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Absolutely.
My pleasure.
You guys, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Localite. John Compton here saying thanks again for watching. And remember, if you've got a guest idea, let us know. Just visit localite.com.